Hello, and welcome to another Terraflict tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going over the economy and how to make money on the server. So there's three basic ways of making money on Terraflict. The first is through mining gold and selling it to the server. The second is through selling items to players using player shops. And the third way is through gambling. So we're going to go over all three, but I'll start with gold. So one gold ingot is worth $1 on Terraflict. And gold is the only item that can be sold directly to the server in exchange for money. Basically, we use the gold standard. So you can either mine for gold in the wilderness by using /RTP and just mining around. You can even mine for it in your claims, but the best way to get gold is by finding a gold mine and mining there. So we'll start by showing what one of those gold mines looks like. So this is what a gold mine looks like completely emptied out. They're usually about 2 chunks by 2 chunks, although they can be bigger. And this is what one looks like completely full. So gold mines make up one of many different types of mines on this server. There are also iron mines, ancient debris mines, super mines, which are the best mines, and then there's also diamond mines and hybrid mines. But gold are definitely the most profitable because they're about 40% gold, and when fully mined out, assuming a high level fortune and a full collection system, these mines can give you anywhere from $100,000 to $120,000. And they do reset every day, so every mine on the server resets every 24 hours, although they do all reset at different times of the day. That is mainly to prevent lag. As I'll go over in the next video, you can get certain enchantments on your pickaxe that allow for much faster mining. For example, I have Atomic Detonate on this pickaxe, which allows me to mine out a 7x7 area, which makes clearing out a mine very quick and very easy. So if you're worried about it taking forever, don't. You can clear out one of these in about 5 minutes once you have everything fully leveled up. But let's say that you're in a nation that doesn't have one of these, or maybe you just don't want to take the time to mine this out until you get a good pickaxe. Well, there's other ways of getting gold. As you can see, gold does still spawn naturally in the world, and by doing /RTP, you can go to any continent and mine gold there. As you can see, I've already hit some gold, so it's not very difficult to mine in the wilderness to get some. Just keep in mind though, that as the server progresses, these wilderness gold deposits will run out, and so you will need to find some sort of long-term gold source. However, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there's 2 other ways of making money, so even if you don't have gold, you're not out of luck. The second way of making money on the server is using player shops, also commonly called chest shops. So if I place down some chests here, I'm going to showcase how to make these player shops. All you have to do is hold an item in your hand, and then left click the chest. With the item in your hand, and clicking the chest, you can now type in how much you want to sell the item for. In this case, I'll sell coal for $10. However, it says out of stock. So the way to stock it is to open the chest, and start filling the chest with the item you want to sell. One item will create 1 stock, and now it says selling 256. So you're probably wondering, how do I get the money to be able to buy something from this shop? Well, as I mentioned before, gold is worth $1 when you sell it to the server. If you have the gold in your hand, you can do /sell hand. Or if you just happen to have it in your inventory, you can do /sell all, and it'll sell all the gold in your inventory. As you can see, I had 448 gold, and it was worth $448. However, if you want to see how much money you have in total, you can do /val, or you can do /balance, and as you can see, I have a good bit of money. Now, if you want to see who has the most money on the server, you can do /bal top, and this shows a sort of leaderboard of who has the most money. If you want to see other pages of the bal top, you can do /bal top and then the page number, such as /bal top 2. This will show you the second page, and so on and so forth. So now that we've gone over how to get money by mining and how to check how much money you have, let's get back to the player shops. So once you've created a player shop and stocked it, you can left click to see information about the player shop, and this works with any shop, it doesn't have to be yours. And then you can right click it to edit. You can't edit other shops, but you can edit any that you own. In the shop control panel, there's a couple things you can change. First is the price. Let's say that coal becomes less valuable. You can change the price to $5. However, let's say that you don't want to sell coal, you want to buy coal, you want to get coal from other players in exchange for money. Well, you can click on change here, and now we're in buying mode. The way this works is it'll buy as much as there is open space in the chest. So right now it says buying 3,200. If I take this out, it'll buy 3,456. The way that this works is a player comes up, they would click on the shop, and they would type in how much they want to sell to you, and in exchange it would take money directly out of your balance. So for example, if I go to bow, I could buy as much coal as would add up to this number. So if my balance was 0, I wouldn't be able to buy any coal, and so if a player came by when my balance was 0 and I clicked on this, they wouldn't be able to sell me anything. So just remember, it does take out of the balance of whoever made the shop. And then the final thing you can change in the shop control panel is you can right click and change if the item is displayed on top. As you can see, the coal icon went away. Is once you're done with your shop, you can remove it by clicking on this remove twice. You do have to click it twice to remove. And so you're probably wondering, if I create a bunch of my own shops, I can sell to other players, but how do these players know where my shop is? That's a good question. The way they would find out is by doing /shop browse. This shows all the different shops that exist on the server, as well as their physical locations, with their coordinates, and who owns them. So, you could go through and page through until you find an item you want to buy. In this case, let's say I wanted some blaze rods. I would see that the coordinates are -16,000, -4,000. And now that I'm on the DYNMAP here, I could go to where those coordinates are at. So I said -16,000, which is to the west, -4,000, which is south, and as you can see, that's where I'm standing here. It would actually be in this particular building. That's one way to do it. Another way to figure out where a shop is located is to come back in and look at who's selling it. In this case, that Space Gamer, that's me, I'm selling blaze rods. So if I go back onto the DYNMAP, all I have to do is click around on nations till I find that Space Gamer. In this case, I'm a member of America. And so then I could do /L spawn America, and that would teleport me to Cuba, which is where our main shops are located. Now, if you want to see what other nations have their spawns open for you to teleport to their shops, all you have to do is /L spawn, and then hit tab to go through the list. As you can see, Denmark, Danish, China, Romania, the Romanian Gold Coast, and Taiwan all have their spawns open, meaning they have some sort of reason for you to be there, either shops or grinder, whatever they have available, some sort of public accommodation. And so, now that we've gone over how to get money by mining gold, and how to get money by selling items to other players, the final way to make money is by gambling. So if you do /CF, or if you do /coinflip, there's currently only one way to gamble, and that is using coin flip, so you have a 50% chance of winning. The way you create a coin flip is you click on create game in the bottom right, and then you can right click to change the tails or heads, the side that you want to bet on, and then you can left click to cycle through what you want to gamble. So you can gamble money, you can gamble diamonds, or you could gamble experience. I'm going to do an experience gamble. And you can either click on these buttons to add a fixed amount or enter in a custom amount. I'm going to do 30,000, and as you can see, you can review it here, and then click create. Then if I do /CF again, I can see all of the available coin flips, and any other player on the server can do /CF, click on my coin flip, and then they can play against me, and as you saw, if I left click, it goes away. If I had left it up though, any other player could challenge me. If you win a coin flip, you get the same amount that you bet times 2, because the other player has to put up that same amount. So if you do a $1,000 coin flip and you win, you'll get $2,000, and if you lose, you'll lose 1,000, and the other player gets $2,000. So this is a good way, if you like betting, to make some quick money. So the final thing to show off is GDP. GDP is a separate point system from balance, and it's actually per nation instead of per player. So if I do /GDP top, I can view the nations with the most GDP. Here in America, we have about 1.5 mil, but as you can see, there are many other nations competing. Now you're probably wondering, how do you get GDP? You get GDP by crafting certain items. If I do /recipes, I can see some of the items that give GDP. Typically, the more expensive the item is, the more GDP it gives, but a great example is I can go to General Purpose and look at netherite. This is the recipe for a netherite helmet, so I'm going to go ahead and craft that. Now that I have some netherite ingots, I'm going to go ahead and craft a helmet to show how this GDP system works. As you can see, the nation was given 80 points because that's how much a helmet is worth. So every single time I craft a netherite helmet, no matter how many times I do it, the nation will get 80 more points. And like I said, the more expensive items under /recipes will give more points, or if they're less expensive, they'll give less points. Like some of the guns only give a couple points, and some of the armor, in terms of gen armor, can give thousands. The GDP plugin is custom, meaning any item can be added, so as new items are added in updates, they will be added to the GDP system as well. Now, if you want to see the GDP for a specific nation, instead of just seeing the top leaderboard, you can do /GDP and then the nation's name. In this case, we'll do the Japanese Empire, which has about 450,000. That'll be all for this Terraflict tutorial. Hopefully you guys learned something good about the economy and how to make money. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Thanks for watching.